Okay, so your message sucks. Here's why.
That's an important chapter. We felt it so important because there are too many people who don't know that there is a difference between a marketing message and a sales message. But these are very different. And a lot of the business owners, the sales managers, and the salespeople are using the marketing message, which was designed for awareness, for the masses.
Right.
And they're using it to create interest for a one-on-one discussion. And it doesn't work.
Right, and so, and there comes a point where the person has piqued their interest. They have said, let's get into more of a discussion of my needs and your product and where is the match. And what does the salesperson do? They continue to market to them,
right.
And it's a turnoff.
Right.
And a lot of times they sabotage their own well-intentioned, well-meaning marketing campaign because they never stop marketing.
Right.
And it's a big problem.
Sabotage is a really good word because in addition to sabotaging the marketing program, they're also sabotaging the relationship with the prospect and their ability to move that forward because they didn't pull it down from this general message to make it more personalized and more customized to the one-on-one conversation or the one-on-one email dialogue that's going on, and therefore cannot move the prospect through the sales cycle.
Right, and this one's a pet peeve of mine too, because if I've already said to you, yes, I'm interested, let's talk some more, and you continue to use generic terms, or it sounds like you're not listening to me. And I said, listen, if we are going to do business, it's you and I talking through what I need. If I go to buy a car, I've walked into the showroom, your marketing got me, I'm ready. Now, but if you keep talking to me as if I'm somebody else with a new set of needs, I'm no longer interested in your brand, I'm no longer interested in your product, and you're going to take all that money you invested in your marketing campaign, you just blew it because the salesperson doesn't know when to shut off the marketing message and turn on the sales message and start following the pre-described process.
Right, and making it meaningful for an individual. That is what sales messaging is. Why is this meaningful for an individual in a way that is so compelling, with words and phrases that are so compelling that that individual will want to take the next step that the seller is asking for?
Right, and so this is a big issue because the marketing message is easy. It's generic. It's already out there. You can repeat it over and over again. Whereas when you are selling, you need to be more situational. You need to read the cues and the body language and feedback what you're hearing, and then attach your product and services as a solution to the needs and the wants of the prospect. So salespeople oftentimes fall back into messaging, marketing messaging, because they lack confidence or they're not fully trained. But it's an easy trap to fall into, and a lot of salespeople fall into that trap.
And there's another reason too, is that it's easier and less time consuming for somebody to fall back into general messaging. It's harder, and you have to slow down the pace of the dialogue in order to really think about, what am I going to say next, and how will I personalize that to the person that I'm meeting with, the person that I'm calling, because that is the way that they're going to respond. And without that, there could be no response. So it's very important, this whole process of developing the right message and knowing the difference between the marketing message and the sales message is a critical component of doing business development right.
Yeah, and we do a whole chapter on something we call TEDucation, right? So where we not only do we just tell you about the problem, but we spend an entire chapter showing you how to fix it as well through demonstration, through education, through tailored training, and to make sure that this is a problem that you can fix as well.
Right. That's a really important point, is that this is completely fixable, but only if you spend some time on it.
Right. If you're reading this book, if this is the sort of book that you're even interested in, then a sale means a lot to you. It's a lot of money. So just to say, oh, well, yeah, but if they don't get the sales message right and they do a little bit of extra marketing, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is not only this sale, but something we spend a lot of time on called the full share of sale, 100% share of sale, meaning over the lifetime of that client, they're going to spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on your product or service. And you had somebody who went and blew it because they couldn't or refused to personalize the message, or worse, didn't know the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot at stake when it comes to like this. You're not only getting that one sale, you're beginning to hopefully a lifelong relationship where somebody's going to invest in your products and services over years, if not decades.
And often you only get one shot at that conversation with the prospect. You can't go back a couple
Right.
days later and say, remember that conversation we had a couple days ago?
That I really blew.
Yeah, let's have that one again. No, it's over. So if you know what to say ahead of time and you've thought about how you're going to personalize that
Right.
message, it's a whole different outcome versus if you just go in there and just say
Sure.
anything.
Right, you only get a chance to propose once, right? If it doesn't work out,
Well, for most people.
Right, for most people, that's right. So you're before this book, your message sucks. Read that chapter 4, and you'll see your message will no longer suck, and you'll understand the difference between the two. That's really important.
If there's a chapter in here,
You can't tell we're a little bit passionate about this topic. It drives us absolutely crazy when we hear it. And I mean, I know it bothers me when I hear my clients do it, but when I'm out in the field, I went to a restaurant the other day and I said, I already read the menu, the whole bit. I told them what my dietary restrictions are. I told them what I wanted to eat. I even showed them exactly how to serve me the meal. And she went right back to her marketing, went right back to it. And I got to tell you, I was so turned off. I said, we're eating here, but it killed it for me, drives me crazy. Next chapter.